Here we go!
Hey everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a new look, and with a new look, I also wanted to try something different today. A little bit more of an opinion piece. And what better opinion to start off with is a fox critiquing a fox. That's right, I don't know if you heard recently, but Nintendo's making a new Starfox game. For the first time in 10 whole years, we're gonna see McCloud and friends back on the screen with VTuber elements. I mean, I can't throw any stones. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, right? Like, it's a brand new Starfox game. Except, the one big but is that it's the Lilat War story. And if you don't know what the Lilat War is, if you've played a Starfox game, chances are you've played the Lilat Wars. Since over half the games in the Starfox franchise is the Lilat Wars. Stemming from the PAL region name of Starfox 64, the Lilat War is just the term they use where Fox and team makes his way from Corneria all the way up to Andross's base, and fighting all of his rivals and meeting up with some other teammates along the way. Get your
Hey Einstein, I'm on your side!
And your
Switching to all range mode.
and don't forget about the
Do a barrel roll!
yeah, you get it. But like I said, this is not the first time they've done this story. In fact, this will be the 5th time they've done this story. I mean, let's take stock for a second. The very first Starfox game, Starfox, for the Super Nintendo was the Lilat War story. Starfox 64, it was kind of a soft reboot. Nintendo wanted to show off its 3D chops, and they wanted to try it out on a story that's already been done, giving voices to these characters that we've already seen before, and showing off their really cool 3D technology on the N64. The GameCube era had its own Starfox games that we'll talk about in a little bit, and we had that one DS game that I really liked, but a lot of people didn't love for some reason. Then you have that 3DS one, which was a literal remake of the 64 one. I mean, it was called Starfox 64 3D. Anyway, fast forward several years, and the next game came out on the Wii U, Starfox Zero. And, surprise, surprise, it was Lilat Wars. But hey, they had some cool new control schemes, right? You could use the gamepad to see first person in the cockpit. And it had like 2-player, let's be real guys, no one played this game. If you owned a Wii U, kudos to you. I own a Wii U right now, and it's great. Back in the day, I mean, were you really going to pick the Wii U over the Xbox One or the PS4? So again, I'm assuming that not a ton of people played Starfox Zero, despite its really cool E3 marketing campaign. God, it was so weird. But yeah, I mean, it's just slightly ridiculous that they haven't made a new story. I mean, how many different stories have they made for Zelda? Even if it's the same one in different packaging? And we can't do one new story for Fox? Anyway, I guess I'm here to say is that this isn't necessarily a bad thing, though. I mean, it's not great. Here's why it could be a good thing for both new and old fans alike. And of course, the big reason is that Fox has not been around in a while. His last appearance in gaming was Super Smash Bros. Before that, it was Starlink Battle for Atlas, or Star Fox Nuts and Bolts. It was that weird, like, figure ship flying game where you could like change out the parts on the controller, and it wasn't really a Star Fox game, but it was, because the only reason people bought it was because of Star Fox. Anyway, his last major appearance was literally 10 years ago, 2016. God, was that 10 years ago? Oh, God. And it was on the Wii U. So in terms of fans, there aren't many new ones. Well, at least not any new ones who have played the games. You see, Fox just made a big appearance on a big screen. A little bit of a spoiler alert, he was in the new Super Mario Galaxy movie, and he wasn't just some small cameo. He was a major character. He even had his own really cool, like, animated cutscene. Honestly, I would watch a whole movie in that cutscene. I think a lot of other people would too. So it seems that Nintendo isn't giving him the F-Zero treatment. They want him to be back in the limelight. And what better way to do that than by doing a reboot? And let's face it, Lilat Wars is a great opening to a series. You have the tension, the big villain that everyone talks about. I mean, Andross, that big face guy, he's cool. You get introduced to Slippy and Falco, Peppy, Wolf and Gang. You get to introduce them all to locations like Corneria and the other ones. But also the other thing is that Nintendo's not stupid and it knows its audience. Like, yes, Star Fox is always going to be geared towards kids because one, it's Nintendo, and Nintendo is a kids gaming company. Sorry, harsh opinion, but it is. 2, kids will always love talking animals. I mean, kids and animal-themed anything, is a better combo than this one in the convenience store. My personal favorite is the pepperoni flavor. But they also know that there's a lot of old fans. And I think they know this. I think they know there's a lot of fans out there waiting and wanting a brand new Starfox game, a new story, something that they can really get excited about and actually have some personalities to look forward to, which is why they've done all these cool cinematics in the game. I mean, I can't judge for it yet, but like from what we saw in the direct, it looks cool as hell. I mean, here you can see Fox genuinely getting upset about something, and that combined with the branching paths, this means you could get a whole different variety of cutscenes depending on what route you choose. We already saw the new prologue, and they already changed that, which could mean there's also other changes they can make in the game, and add in some cool new characters, some new, some old, that we may get to see later on. My final reason why I think this is not a terrible thing is because I think Nintendo does not release remasters or remakes for no reason. I think that Nintendo likes to test the waters with products that have already been done before and just gauge audiences whether or not they're ready for this next one. They like to test the waters just before they release the next game to see how well it'll perform. For example, before releasing Tears of the Kingdom, a Zelda game where you explore both sky and land in a time-traveling game, they released a remaster of Skyward Sword, a Zelda game where you explore both sky and land in a time-traveling game. Right? Do you see where I'm going with this? Before they released Metroid Prime 4, they released a remaster of Metroid Prime 1. Before the Mario Galaxy movie, they released the Mario Galaxy Bundle. I don't know if you remember the custom Robo games. It was like a Pokemon-esque game, but instead of little fighting creatures, it was like an action game with these tiny little robots. Oh, so cool. But back on the 3DS era, there was rumored that a new custom Robo game was in development. And before we had ever heard news about it, they released a game based on a children's anime with a very similar premise called Little Battlers Experience. I, of course, bought it and played it because it was my custom Robo fix, but it did not sell well. It didn't review well, and guess what never got announced? Now, granted, that could be a whole different situation, but I like to think that Nintendo was testing the waters on whether or not this would work. I think the exact same thing is happening here. I think Nintendo is wanting to create a whole new Star Fox set of games. They've got this new engine, got these new looks for the crew, they've got maybe even a movie in the works. Mario's cool and all, and they've got a Zelda one. I'm sure Metroid's gonna get some treatment sometime. But come on, a cartoon Fox? I mean, you could really capitalize on that Top Gun audience. I'm just saying, if this game does well, I think we're gonna see a lot more Star Fox games. But if it crashes and burns, then they're probably gonna say that we're not ready for Star Fox and go back to the drawing board. So yeah, I mean, I don't think the Lilat Wars is a bad story, and it's one that we haven't seen in a long time, but I also get it. It is kind of a disappointment for longtime fans. This story has come out 5 times, and that is ridiculous. Could it be lazy? I don't know. But I also think this story hasn't had a chance to be remade and succeed. Like I said, it first started on the Super Nintendo, and I don't know if you've played the Super Nintendo game, it's not great. It runs at like 15 frames per second, and 3D gaming was just not there yet. The N64 one, of course, is a classic, but looking at the next time it was remade, which was the 3DS version, it came out at the very opening of the 3DS generation. And the 3DS really struggled to sail for a little bit. Its first 2 major games was Ocarina of Time 3DS and Star Fox 64 3DS, and it wasn't enough. It was cool, but I just don't think people really wanted to play it. And of course, we have Star Fox Zero. Again, it was on the Wii U. It was gonna fail. So yeah, I think that with the Switch 2 and its success, especially with a lot more copies of the Switch 2 selling because of Pokopia and Tamagotchi Life, I think this is giving the Lilat War story and the new version of Star Fox its best chance at succeeding in actually creating sequels like we saw in the GameCube era, and not crappy reskins. Sorry, I told you I was going to talk about this. Star Fox Adventures, if you haven't seen anything about the development on that, go look it up. It was supposed to be some other game before it was a Star Fox game, and then I guess the creators didn't love it, and they just wanted to reskin it as Star Fox. The same thing happened to Metroid Prime 1. But Star Fox Assault, pretty cool. I actually really like that game. because you get to like run around as Fox, like on the ground and pew-pews. And they had some like really cool like 4-player mode, like a multiplayer shooter, like time splitter style. It was really neat. I really liked Star Fox Assault. Of course, the other major complaint I'm seeing about Star Fox, the new one anyway, is the looks of the characters. And again, I totally get it. I'm more of a cartoon Fox guy myself. These characters look a little more uncanny and realistic, but I also get it. Someone pointed out that they're really trying to harken back to the original Super Nintendo looks, which honestly I think is a really nice homage. And again, with this more realistic look, I think they're also trying to go for a more serious story, to really give it that tone of something serious, something more dramatic. So hopefully those cutscenes will give us that. But yeah, in conclusion, this is a Star Fox 64 remake. And I get the hate. The Lilat Wars has been done. But I don't think it's lazy. I think they have some sort of strategy to it. It's been 10 years since Fox had his own game. And there's a whole new generation that only know him from Smash Brothers or the Super Mario Galaxy movie. This story can get people introduced to the epic space battles and Star Wolf and the characters that we grew up playing around, and give them the polished experience that Nintendo usually does. We're getting to see these new cinematics and this changed prologue, these deeper character moments, and I hope we get to see a lot more of that as it leads to the release. I think that's really going to be the glue that's going to tie the fan base together. And especially if it introduces some of the fan favorite characters. But the biggest thing is I think Nintendo's testing the water here. I think Nintendo does not know whether or not Star Fox is going to succeed or not. I think they are worried and they don't want to spend a lot of time and money on a story that is not going to succeed. It's safer and more of a crowd pleaser to do the original story, but also give them the freedom to do some newer things with it too. So yeah, I hope it goes well. I hope that they introduce a lot of new stuff, but I guess we'll have to see. I'm not trying to defend Nintendo for not making a new story. I'm just saying maybe let's give it a chance before we all dog on it. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think that this is exactly what Nintendo needs right now, or is this just a lazy cash grab? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I swear I read every single one of them and I try to respond to them as much as I can. Or come join our Discord. We always talk about video games and I drop a daily question where we can just talk about video games. If you like this comment, please drop a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I mean, check out these new threads, right? Cool? It's cool, right? I think they're cool. But yeah, I guess we will see you in the next video. This is Kitsune signing off.